Friends, welcome back. I hope you have a snack and you can enjoy a little bit more of Clementine today. Now, Clementine, when we just left off yesterday, she was heard from Margaret that there was going to be a party. And she said there's only two reasons why people have parties. It's either for a birthday or for a going away party. And so Clementine's a little bit worried about what this party could be for. So chapter 10 starts out with Clementine. It looks like she's got a lot of cleaning things in her hands. I wonder what she's going to try to do. I raced back to my apartment. My parents were in their bedroom. That's right. A chocolate cake with vanilla frosting, my mom said, and she was saying it to someone on the phone. Goodbye and good riddance should be in red icing. Make sure they spell her name right, I heard my dad say. And then my mom spelled Clementine and said she'd be over to pick it up soon. There wasn't much time. Well, I guess I'll go clean my room, I said extra loud as I walked through the living room. I tried to make it sound as if these words were used to coming out of my mouth. Yep, I'll just be cleaning like crazy this afternoon. My dad came out and squinted at me, and then sat down to read the Boston Globe. My mother just glanced at me as she passed by to help my brother with his puzzle. Maybe when I'm done, I'll clean Radish's room too, I tried. And then I'll do some homework. If you need help with anything or need any problem solved like the Great Pigeon War, just come and get me. Okay, Clementine, my parents said, but he didn't even look up this time. So it was probably too late. Just in case it wasn't, I got the spray bottle of cleaner and some paper towels because even though I've never actually cleaned my room, I know that's the first step. Except I didn't know what to do next. I wanted my room to look like Margaret's, like a magazine picture, but I didn't know how to do it. The problem was everything already looked great to me. Luckily, I knew what my parents would like me to clean. I dragged out everything from the black hole and piled it on top of my bed. And you would not believe how much stuff came out. Friends, do you remember what the black hole is? Yeah, it's under her bed. Do you store any stuff under your bed? Clementine does. This is what she found. 4 shoes, 3 brushes, and too many hair clips to count. Socks, a really crunchy Easter peep, and the top hat that had been missing from the Monopoly game for 2 years. A Mr. Potato Head nose. 3 library books, my book report due last Monday, and Friday Saturn sentences. Some more socks. A Halloween mask. The skirt I pretended I lost. 2 flashlights, a mitten, a green plastic trapezoid, and taking it easy in the Everglades snow globe. Half a button, Polka Dotty's favorite rubber mouse, Mom's yoga video, and Dad's needle nose pliers. 45 cents, and even more socks. I got all the things piled up on my bed, and even though they looked fine to me, I started to clean them. I squirted everything with lots of cleaner and rubbed hard with paper towels. Friends, is that how you clean? Clementine. This is her. About that disaster. Let's see, where were we? I squirted and I rubbed all afternoon. It started to get dark outside, but nothing got cleaner. With everything, it just got wetter and covered with clumps of wet paper towel. And suddenly, my eyes were crying and they would not stop. And that's when my parents came in. I just got some cleaner in my eyes, is all I told them. I'm doing really great and cleaning up the room. But even they didn't believe that. Okay, fine, I said, wiping away the tears so I could see how mad they were at me. I am sorry, and I won't be like this anymore. Like what, Clementine? My mom asked. What are you talking about? Like whatever you don't want. I said, I won't talk so much and I'll clean up my room for real and I will think about the consequences before I do stuff and I won't do stuff anyway and I will never lose my homework because I will never lose anything. And I will sit so still you will think, hey, is that Clementine? Or is it just a statue of Clementine? And I will never bring another note home that says Clementine had a difficult day at school today. And I will bring hundreds of notes home that say, wow, Clementine certainly pays attention in school. And the underneath of my bed will look like the underneath of normal people's beds. And my hands will always be where they belong. And I will take piano lessons again, but this time I will sit on the bench the whole time. And then I ran out of air and I took a big gulp. I won't be like me anymore, and then I'll be the easy one too. Easy as celery. So you don't have to get rid of me, which I know about because I heard you say one is all we need, and then I heard you order a cake that says goodbye and good riddance, Clementine. And both my parents ran over to me and hugged me at the same time. A hug sandwich. And then they took my hands and brought me out to the dining room. And there was Margaret and her mother, Mitchell with my brother on his shoulders, all looking at me. And I scrubbed my face to make sure there weren't any tears left, even though I did not care what Mitchell thought because he's not my boyfriend. Here's a picture of them with a hug sandwich. My brother yelled, "Prize!" and everybody else said, "Surprise!" And then they stepped out of the way so I could see the dining room table. And on it was a cake, all right, but it didn't say goodbye and good riddance, Clementine. It said goodbye and good riddance. Above 1,000 frosting pigeons, and then under it said, thank you, Clementine, hero of the Great Pigeon War. Oh, well, what about that one's all we need thing I asked about? My mom and dad smiled really, really big then. Wait right here, sport, Dad said, and he went into the hall and came back with a big box. Open it up. So I did. And do you know what was in there? What do you think it is? A kitten. I am not kidding you. There was only one left, Dad said. And when we told them, one's all we need. I lifted the kitten out of the box and took him to the bathroom to get him a name. And right away, I found the most exquisite name. I held him up to my cheek and I told him his name and he started to purr, which filled up a space in my ears that had been missing since Polka Dot died. And when I came out, I saw Margaret wanting to touch my kitten. And I saw her tell her hands to be quiet because he was mine and he was new. I wanted to say, the rule is no touching my kitten because it's the rule. But I didn't. Instead, my mouth opened up and said, want a pat moisturizer, Margaret? Which was a very big surprise, let me tell you. We know it's not the same as having Polka Dotty back, my mom started. He's different, my dad said. I know, I told them. He's perfect. And then I looked up and I saw that everything else was perfect too. My mother in her overalls, my comedian father, my brother who didn't get stuck with a fruit name, Margaret in her Margaret hat, Mitchell slicing the Clementine the hero cake, and my not from a magazine apartment. When Margaret's mother came over and said, tomorrow after school, I'm taking both of you girls to the hairdresser to fix up those haircuts, I almost said, no thanks, because I didn't want to change a single thing. But she was smiling at me, and that looked perfect too, so I smiled back and I said, great. And then I passed out the cake, and I was extremely polite because I served everyone else a slice first, and then at the very end, I took one. Okay, two, fine. Thanks for listening to Clementine, and that ends our story. And here's a picture of everyone at the party. And here's a picture of Clementine eating cake. I hope you enjoy it, and I can't wait to start another new book with you. Thanks, friends.